Namaste everyone and welcome to this session where I'll be telling you 5 must-know hacks to get a 99 percentile in CAT 2026. So let's jump right in. Let's understand the first hack. It is called as the 30-10 rule in VARC. So you have 40 minutes in the VARC section. How do you distribute it among RCs and VAs is very important. Understand that 16 questions in RCs can typically take about 30 minutes, which would give you 7.5 minutes per RC, as well as around 10 minutes for 8 VA questions. Now you can do a plus minus 2 depending on your strength and weakness. So therefore this 30 can change to 28 or 32, but this is typically the timeline that you should keep in mind. And also understand that you need to maximize your attempts as far as RC is concerned. Do you know the exact score required to get a 99 percentile in the VRC section in CAT 2025? It was 44. And now think about it. What are the net positive questions that you are expected to have in terms of getting that score of 44? You at least need 15 questions, right? 15 threes are 45. And to get 15 questions right, you need to attempt at least 80 odd questions in the VRC section, if not more. And therefore, my suggestion in the mocks would be try and maximize your attempts. If possible, try and attempt all 24 and then try and improve from there with regards to accuracy. If 24 is a bit too difficult, maybe start with 20, then move on to 22. But gradually, by the time CAT comes, you should be in a position to maximize your attempts as far as VRC section is concerned. Let's move to hack number 2. It is a number that a lot of you might not be able to understand straight away. 102. The total number of RCs that have ever been asked since CAT 17 when official papers were starting to come in. So from CAT 17 till CAT 2025, we have 9 years official papers available from CAT authorities. Out of them, 54 RCs have been from just these 5 areas: sociology, biology, you have history, philosophy, and economics. One important message through this is that make sure that you're very comfortable reading different articles from at least these 5. Now, would that make up for anything and everything that comes in the RC section this year? No, nobody can predict anything. But then understand that there is a very high probability that out of the 4 RCs, at least 2 would come from some of these 5 domains. And if they do, imagine the kind of reading speed you have just because you have developed an expertise in making sure that you understand articles, jargons, and whatnot with regards to these 5 different broad themes. The third hack is about the DILR section. Understand that right set selection is extremely crucial. All of us know this, but there is a very important view question paper tab at the right hand side top when you actually attempt the CAT paper. So in your mocks, try this out, that you actually click on that view question paper link and realize that you are able to scan all the sets along with questions in one go via simple scroll. If you do that, you'll be able to select the 2 sets or 3 sets that you're going to do first. And as usual, please try and follow the guidelines with regards to type of set, type of conditions, and type of questions. If you take care of these 3 along with the time consumption expectation that you will have, you will be in a very good position to select the right sets, pick the easiest one, attempt it, get it right, get 4 questions in the bank, then move on to the second set and continue like this onwards. I'm sure that you're going to have a very good DILR section. Moving ahead, the next hack is actually practicing the way actual CAT happens. Remember, if your conditions are a good simulation of what you're going to face in the actual CAT exam, then there is no better practice or better way to practice than this. Make sure that you practice solving all 3 sections in a A5 size notepad. If you don't have it, you can fold an A4 size paper. Please make sure that you develop this habit of using A5 notepad while practicing. It will have a tremendous impact on your final score going ahead in the CAT. Finally, the ABC approach for QA. More often than not, a lot of good candidates get stuck in questions, maybe because they feel they can do it, but then they did not realize that they had to judge whether to actually attempt that question in the first place or not. ABC approach stands for Abhi karo, baad mein karo, and chhod do. So you have to categorize questions based on these 3 parts. If you feel that this question can be done within 1.5 to 2 minutes, it is from your area of strength, looks very easy, then it is type A. You will immediately attempt it, get it right, move on to the next question. If you feel this question is either time consuming but is easy, you will be able to solve it, but maybe take 4.5, 5 minutes of your time. Or you feel that this is a slightly difficult question, you will have to think it through, but you are confident that you are going to get this right later on, maybe a question on geometry where you have to find angles and stuff like that. You feel that this is better off taken care at the end, then you will mark it for review. A very, very useful tool in CAT. Mark it for review and come back later, which is what we say as baad mein karo. So you'll come back to that question later on with that purple sign available in your bookmark. Finally, the questions of type C are equally important because these are the questions that you're supposed to leave, not touch at all. And the faster you're able to judge them, just by having a quick glance, understanding in around 15, 20, 30 odd seconds that this is not my cup of tea or this is super time consuming. I would be very happy to solve this question after the exam is over, but I'm not going to waste my time during the 40 minutes trying to solve this question, which is generally considered as type C. So I leave that question and never bother about it. So understand, out of 22 questions, if you're able to categorize them as type A, type B, attempt the type A questions, then and there itself move on to the next. Come back to those questions that you have marked for review. I'm sure that you're going to have a fantastic actual QA section of the CAT paper. So these were the 5 hacks that I'll want you to keep in mind, and I'll leave you with an interesting quote that you can call it as hack 0. You can read it for yourself and then take a call. Understand that there is no substitute for actual studying. So you need to work hard, you need to work smart as well, but then hard work, there is absolutely no substitute. Make sure that you focus on your preparation, understand the fundamentals, take mocks regularly, analyze those mocks, work on your weaker areas. All those standard cliched statements are actually useful, and that is what actually works. So that's it from my side. I'll take a leave. Sure.